Thomas, welcome. Can you give me some examples of digital AI, Gen AI, that you think have had the most impact in healthcare?
Broadly in healthcare, I'm convinced that AI, it will help making better decisions. So in the not too distant future, we will see the life of physicians changing dramatically because there will be Gen AI. So we'll see validated Gen AI being assisting physicians, and I suspect in the not too distant future, working more directly involved in decision-making diagnostics, leaving the human interactions to the doctors. So that's one way. In the pharmaceutical industry, we are already seeing AI drive enormous acceleration in the processes. So from productivity point of view, but also from a scientific insight point of view, quality by design point of view. So we see AI already being deployed in our company. We already deployed broadly, but I expect it will be accelerated significantly in the next 6, 8, 12, 18 months. And that's just in R&D, but we'll see the same in production and other parts of the industry.
Where you're seeing the most success, are there themes?
It really depends on what success is
Yeah, well-
defined as, because you can say we already see it in report writing. So we do no longer have human beings writing the study reports of our clinical trials. It's all done by AI. So that's an example of very successful implementation and scaling, and we're expanding that into other parts of what we call the regulatory dossier. Another example is in deployment in code generation. So we basically will gradually see no need for starting to code manually yourself. Image analysis, very successful. We do know that AI is better at looking at images than radiologists, quite frankly, in many cases. And again, it goes much faster. Adjudication processes, which is during very large clinical trials, if you have endpoints that need to be adjudicated by physicians, well, we are building AI algorithms that can do that. And the list goes on. So that's just in development. In research, you see it in molecule design, target discovery, protein folding, predictions, which are very complex. And then simulations of clinical trials and simulations of processes. And then there are lots of other process automation areas. So the list is really long. And success is defined in many ways. Scientific insight is success. Increased productivity is success. Reduction of time spent is success. So I wouldn't pick one area.
We were speaking about digital and AI, but what else, what other trends, innovations do you see really shaping this year ahead?
From a digital point of view or an AI point of view, it's the enormous development in generative AI that we keep seeing. Actually, half a year ago, I would have thought we were plateauing a bit, but I can say that's not going to happen. We now see the Gen AI models developing very rapidly into areas where you start seeing something which will be closer to real intelligence. So reasoning models that really now start behaving very differently. And it's just amazing the speed of that. It's also a challenge for us in the regulated area. How do we keep that balance between the pace of model development and being able to validate and say this is good enough, also versus regulators and legislation?
How do you strike that balance?
We strike that balance by having built a very good AI governance setup. First and foremost, we do not just deploy everything into production so that we have experimentation, that's good enough. But if it goes into production, it has to go through our governance, which includes a lot of technological checks and balances, but also ethical and legal checks and balances. And that's one way of doing it. But I don't have the full answer yet because it's not something that there isn't a manual for how do you balance that.
Thomas, thank you so much. An absolute pleasure.
Likewise. Thank you.